Hey guys, so this is your warm up for 4-7. If you are at home, you need to pause and you need to copy these down, solve them, and then take a picture and upload it to the zip drive. It'd be really great if you could save it as 4-7 warm up. Um, if you are on internet, then you need to go over to assessments, do these problems. Okay, so I'm going to give everybody a second to go ahead and do that. Okay, so today we're going to continue on with FCP that we did yesterday. We're just going to give it some more real life meaning. So remember that yesterday we talked about FCP just means that you can get the total number of outcomes by multiplying the number of outcomes for each event together. So number of outcomes are multiplied for total number of outcomes. Okay, so we're good there. We reviewed it. So today we're going to do 3 examples together. Those 3 examples have a little bit more real life application to them. They're not necessarily harder, but I do think they need their own day. So I'm going to use some colored pencils. I'm waiting on my fancy pencils to come in from Amazon because I couldn't find them in my room when I went back. But I've got some colors here to use, and we're going to distinguish our events, and then we're going to go in and we are going to find the number of outcomes, multiply them to get the total. So number 10, sorry, that was an email from Jace. Hey Jace, when you're watching this next week. So number 10, 6 different people brought 4 dishes to a gathering. Find the total number of dishes. So we've got 6 people each brought 4 dishes to the gathering. So imagine the gathering and the people walk in. So because they have to get to the gathering first, right? So our first event is going to be the people bringing in. Well, we've got 6 different people. So our first event is our people. They've got to come to our event. That's event number 1. Well, how many different options do we have for those people? How many different people do we have? Well, it says right here, we've got 6. So for event number 1, we've got 6 people. Well, after those people come in, they bring their dishes. And how much should each person bring? Well, it told us each brought 4 dishes. So after they walk in, they're going to put their dishes down on the table. So our next event is the dishes or the food. And this will be event number 2. Well, how many different dishes do we have? How many did it tell us? It told us 4 per person. So I've got 4 options for dishes. Well, over here to get our total number, we were told if you do your total number of events multiplied, you can get the total. Or, excuse me, I'm sorry. If you do each event, the outcomes for each event multiplied, you get the total. Sorry. So 6 times 4 is 24. So there will be 24 dishes there. So that's kind of like a family reunion type deal. Oh, pause. Okay, so we're back and I have a new little friend with me who's sleeping, I hope. But let's look at number 11. So Marissa is pouring drinks at a birthday party. She has 3 different size cups and 7 different flavors of juice. How many cups of juice can she pour? How many different ones? So you've got to take into account the different sizes and the different juices or the different flavors. So the first thing, before you pour juice, you've got to get a cup. So how many different cups could she choose from? 3. She could choose from 3 different cups. So event number 1 is going to be cups. So event number 1 is cups. And there's 3 different ones that she could choose from. So there's 3 possible outcomes. Well, after she chooses the cup to pour into, she has to pick which kind of juice she's going to pour. So juice is going to be event number 2. Well, how many different juices could she choose from? Well, it says 7. There's 7 different flavors of juice. So there's 7 possible outcomes. Well, to be able to get the total number of outcomes, what would we do? Well, take the outcomes from event 1, outcomes from event 2, multiply them together. So 3 times 7 equals 21 outcomes. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to move up to our last question. I'll be right back. So number 13 says, a child from a class of 28 students is chosen to pick one of 5 prizes. How many outcomes are there? So let's pretend we're in a kindergarten class and there's 28 kids in there and one of them's going to be chose and one's going to get to pick out of 5 prizes. You go ahead, pause, take a second, try to do it. Okay, so the first thing that has to happen for a kid to be able to pick a prize is we've got to pick a kid. We got to pick a student. So the first thing we got to do is pick a student. That's going to be event number 1. Well, how many different students could you choose from? It tells us there's 28, so there's 28 different outcomes. Well, after they pick a student, what does the student get to do? The student gets to go up to the bag and pick one of 5 prizes. So the prize is our second event. How many different prizes are in that bag? There's 5. And then to get the total number, we take outcomes from event 1, outcomes from event 2, and multiply them together. So 28 times 5. I do not have a calculator beside me, so I'm going to have to take a second and do it in my head. So I would do 20 times 5, which is 100, and then do 8 times 5, which is 40, not 14, 40. And if I add those together, I get 140. There's 140 different outcomes that could happen there. My battery is running low. But that's the notes for today. I'm going to pause and I'm going to get the homework out so you guys can look at it. Be right back. So here are the 3 homework problems. If you're at home, you're going to want to pause this, write down write down 10, 11, 12 and label it 4, 7 independent practice. And you need to do these 3 questions and save them to your thumb drive or your zip drive. If you are at home on internet, you need to go ahead, you need to go to assessments, do these 3 questions. Everybody understand? Remember, if you need help, you need to reach out to your friends, to your parents, to me, before that show answer button is ever used. Do not just click it because it's there. Okay, you guys have a great long break. I don't know, you're gonna be at home, but enjoy it. Hopefully it's some good weather. But if you need me, I'm here. Bye guys.